Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of important levels being tested right now. So let's start off with the euro. Arab Medina from our chat room brought this chart up. This is the weekly euro dollar testing key resistance here, and we're right up against this big trend line. Now, when you're looking at a trend line like this, you have to give it some room. I mean, we may be there, we may be really close to there, we may be, around, give or take 50 pips away from these levels. So the euro dollar from current prices could race up, to 116.50 and back down again, and we're all we could say, well, it's pretty much sitting in the same spot. So if you get what I'm saying, and we'd be respecting the same areas is what I was trying to say. So let's talk about the euro being at this resistance. Relative strengths are, the RSIs are pretty divergent. If you guys are all listening, the ones that are listening live know that I pulled the pattern in play on the euro dollar. Oops, closed pattern in play. I pulled it off here at 116.13, just about where we're at right now. The reason why I did that is because we are really too close to that trend line, and what I'd rather do is because I still think the bull flag, I think this bull flag is still going to play out. We're going to play out to 118. What I'm hoping for is this divergence is going to weigh on the euro a little bit, and what we'll do is we'll come back down here to 115 and then make the turn higher. But the way that it's looking right at this moment, that doesn't seem to be the case. Obviously we're the euro's at a very, it's a bit up right at a pretty strong level of resistance right now, and it looks like we're going to continue to move higher, but it's hard to say at these levels. The cable struggling once again at these highs. I think this is a pretty important resistance for the pound. We're up here right now. Not sure if we're going to be able to break out or not, but we're trying. We're trying. I still think that the pound closing above 127 is a big deal, above the 200-day moving average. I do think this is a big deal. I'm watching the dollar Canadian closely. I just tried to play this to the long side, and I just got stopped out. So because I got stopped out, it's probably going to bounce now. So just for those of you guys that are listening live that are in it, we just hit the 127% extension of the intraday move. Actually, that comes in at, did we really? That comes in at 55. So yeah, it's probably going to be. I thought it was going to maybe post a false break down, but what we're seeing here is we're seeing a little bit of stock market selling, and you can see that not so much the S&P. Well, S&P is trying, but really the NASDAQ is rolling over a little bit. And so as we start to see this, stock market sell-off gain a little bit of acceleration, the question is the dollar going to firm up? And it's to be seen. I mean, you guys are sitting there watching it. I mean, stocks are going down, dollars not really doing much. I mean, I think the risk is that the dollar could bounce a little bit, but it's not like the dollar is going in a full-on risk-off, give us some sort of staggering rally. I think that if stocks continue to come down, maybe the dollar will firm up a little bit, and give us a better opportunity to sell dollars at a better level is what I'm thinking is going to happen. But look, we should keep an eye on the US dollar Mexican peso. The dollar Mexican peso actually hit this trend line right to a T and rejected it, came right back down. Not saying that it can't break, but obviously if stocks continue to weaken, the US dollar Mexican peso might actually make another run for this 22, 60. I think if it breaks 22.60, then we got to be on the lookout for an actual key reversal for the US dollar, Mex, and peso. And guys, that can happen. I say that can happen because look, equities could roll over at any moment. I mean, we've been in a situation where equities have shown us a lot of strength in recent weeks and months, and I should say months. What if stocks start really turning and the euro actually pivots off of this big weekly trend line and pulls back a little bit? I think it's entirely possible, especially if the S&P's closed down, 1.5%, 2% today. That would be crazy. We're down 0.3%. When's the last time the stock market closed down anything similar to that? It's been a while, right? One other thing that I should go over really quick is gold continues to rally. Obviously, we continue to hit new highs in gold. What do you say? I mean, other than get out of the way. This is I tell everybody in the chat room the same thing. You either get on the train or get out of the way. There's only two choices here. You get on the trend, get on the train, try to ride it out, or you get out of the way. I don't think you want to short it. What I would do is just look for places to buy it. It's just finding those places to buy it seem extremely difficult at this point, and it's going to be that way. It really is going to be that way because we're in such a strong trend, and it's kind of one of those are just walking away without us, and those will happen, So like I said, you either get on it or just move out of the way, find something else to trade. But gold's moving higher. Silver is giving us a little bit of divergence here, and that's something we obviously need to pay attention to. I still think that silver, any move back, even below 21, we may not make it all the way down to 20, but if you get down to 21, you got to start looking at it like, seeing if you can pick it up at at those prices. Anyway, all right, guys and gals, I want to thank you for being with me today. Today's Thursday, right? I lose track of days. Jason said, Blake, 2 questions. Do you think the dollar is headed back to the mid 80 level? Also, ForexAnalytix, when we see a tension level bias and I check alerts, I don't see anything. Wait, when we see a tension level bias, oh yeah, the biases are changed. They change right here. These right here, Jason, you're not going to see any analysis change. It's changing. The bias right here is changing. Let me show you. These will go from like they'll switch, but we don't put a history on it because they flip based on what our charts are pushing. So if we push some charts, yeah. So whenever you get a bias change, don't pay I don't pay much attention to it, right? There you go. All right, guys. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Face webinar. Ciao.